A developer fixed one bug last sprint. 3 features broke. Nobody knew until users reported them. That's a regression, and it happens because nobody knew which areas to retest. Today, Claude tells you exactly what to check, based on what changed. Subscribe, and if you have a release coming up this week, drop your change list in the comments and I'll show you what to test. Here's what we're covering. First, what regression testing actually is and when you should run it, because not every change needs a full retest of everything. Then how to describe your release changes to Claude and get a focused regression pack back. Just the tests that actually matter for this sprint. We'll also see how Claude ranks those tests by risk, so you always know which ones to run first when time is short. Then we'll build a reusable release checklist, something your team can use before every single release without rebuilding it from scratch each time. And finally, Claude will write the actual test cases for the regression, not just a list of areas, but full steps, data, and expected results you can execute straight away. Let me show you exactly how a regression happens, because understanding this makes the rest of the video make much more sense. A developer gets a bug ticket. The discount code calculation is wrong. They fix it. The fix is in the checkout module. What nobody realizes is that the order total calculation, the tax logic, and the cart subtotal all run through the same piece of code. The developer tests their fix. The discount code now works. They ship, but the order total, which was working fine before, is now broken. Nobody tested it because nobody thought to. That is a regression. The feature broke not because anyone touched it directly, but because something nearby changed. This is exactly what Claude is good at catching. You tell it what changed, it tells you what else that change could have touched. Here's the prompt. Role: Senior QA Tester who specializes in regression testing and release readiness. Context: We're releasing Shopmate version 2.5, and we list every change in this release: the discount code fix, the new PayPal option, the redesigned confirmation page, and the updated email template. Task: Identify which existing features are most at risk, then build a targeted regression test pack. Format: For each area, tell us why it's at risk and what tests to run and at what priority. Look at what comes back. Critical: Order total calculation, because the discount fix touched shared pricing code. Critical: Existing card payment, because adding PayPal required changes to the payment module. High: Order confirmation email. The template was changed, so delivery and content need verifying. Medium: Checkout navigation. The confirmation page redesign might affect browser back button behavior. 4 areas, specific reasoning for each. Tests already mapped out. Let's talk about why targeted regression matters so much in practice. A full regression means running every single test case before every release. No analysis of what changed. Just test everything just in case. That takes 2 to 3 days. And what usually happens when a sprint is tight and the release is on Friday, the regression gets skipped, which is exactly when bugs slip through. A targeted regression is different. You paste the changelog. Claude identifies which features share code with what changed. You only run those tests. It takes 3 to 4 hours instead of 3 days. It's small enough that it never gets skipped due to time pressure. In this example, 28 focused, risk-ranked tests instead of 160 untargeted ones. Same protection, a fraction of the time. Here's the most practical thing to take away from this video. Ask Claude to build a reusable release checklist for your app. Once. It should have 2 sections. The first is your core user journeys, the flows that must always work, no matter what changed this sprint. Register, login, search, checkout, pay, confirm. These run every release without question. The second section is sprint-specific, the tests Claude generates based on what changed this time. New payment option added? Test the existing one too. Email template updated? Check the content renders correctly. Confirmation page redesigned? Test the back button. You run both sections. Everything on the list passes. That's your exit gate. The checklist lives in your test management tool. Before every release, you update the sprint section with whatever changed. The core section never changes. This is your team's standard for what done means. Let's wrap up, and this is a big one because today we complete Module 2. You now know regression testing, what it is, why regressions happen, and how to catch them with a targeted pack instead of running everything and hoping. You know how to describe a release to Claude and get a risk-ranked test plan back. You know the difference between 28 focus tests and 160 untargeted ones, and why that difference matters before every single release. And you have a reusable checklist framework that your whole team can use. That's 7 core testing tasks completed in Module 2. Test cases, bug reports, exploratory testing, test data, test planning, suite review, and regression, all powered by Claude and the RCTF framework. Module 3 starts next with Video 11, API testing. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you have a release this week and need a regression pack, comment below or email me. I will help you build it.